Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roller this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going.
Go ahead, let's talk some Lakers, man. LeBron looks good. LeBron looks very, very, very good, actually. Indeed, he looks very fast. He allegedly either said, "I'm the fastest man out here," or "I'm the best man out here." When they had their scrimmage the other day. Chase, what do you think about LeBron? How do you feel about LeBron and the Lakers? Do you think that the rest was good for him? Do you think that they're going to win? Who's your pick to win the ring? Do you think the Lakers are going to win the ring?
I do think the Lakers will win.
Really? Okay.
I mean, Lakers Bucks. Yeah. The rest of LeBron, like, there's a difference when you see certain players who have additional rest like that. So I expect him to play better. I mean, Anthony Davis honestly is going to probably really anchor most of the important stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, he said he's the fastest player and all that, though.
Yeah, like supposedly
the fastest man or the baddest man out here. Yeah. They can't make out which one he said.
Okay, well, I mean, if he said, I also feel like they have some unfinished business. You know what I'm saying? With RIP Kobe and all that. So I feel like they're going to really try to win that for Kobe. So I think the Lakers will win.
In my opinion, I think they got a great shot. I can't say again. I can't say.
Actually, I was gonna say I wanted you to talk about what you think about that shot, but also you really want to see the Lakers. What are your thoughts about them?
They don't look bad. I think Deion Waiters gives them something that they've been missing. Even when he went for that ISO in the Magic game, which was a wildly egregious ISO. Like, it was an egregious ISO. Number one, he slipped mid-play, regained his balance, stepped back, and made the shot. But that's what they needed. They needed that kind of guy who, sometimes they could just get a ball to him and be like, you know what? Hey, bro, figure this out and do something. And I think that Deion Waiters, like I said, gives them an aspect on offense that they hadn't had. Defensively, I think missing Avery Bradley does hurt. I think that he was kind of like their anchor on like the perimeter, but they still have KCP. I don't think KCP is bad. I think it's time for KCP to step up. I think KCP can play some defense. Now, granted, I think he may struggle against some of these quicker guards, and I think Bradley was more suited to guard like a Dame Lillard or like a CJ McCollum. I don't really know who else has crazy guards in the West that they might end up playing first round, but yeah, I mean. I think that may be an issue, but I know AD, he even had shoulder problems. AD should be fully healed up. LeBron, I think when you get 3 months off at his age, obviously LeBron isn't the guy who I'm thinking is going to sit down and like not do nothing for 3 months. Even though it was 3 months off, I'm sure he kept himself in tip-top shape. Even you see like the scrimmages, he seemed like he never stopped playing. The Lakers in general seem like they haven't stopped playing. They seem like they're still in like a good rhythm. I think that they communicate a lot over this layoff. And I want to see it. Like, I think that they have a great shot. Like, I'm not going to say for sure because I still think the Clippers are a better basketball team than them. But the Clippers, I think, have some question marks right now with the fact of they have so many people not there. And this has kind of been the same story that the Clippers have had all year with people not being there. And I wonder if at some point in time that will come back to bite. And then like the Lakers more so have a little bit more consistency right now than what the Clippers have. And I also think that real quick, one last thing. I know people that hate on Rondo, but I think that they will in which they will miss Rondo. I think that Rondo is a guy who, if nothing else, he's a point guard. He can set the pace of the team. And I also think he is a guy who needs somebody to get him the ball in his spots to be successful. And the only other season that you would want to say is AD's best season, Rondo was there, assisting him along in New Orleans. When they went to the second round and played, the Rondo was there.
Yeah.
So I think that at some point in time they will miss Rondo, but they look good so far.
Yeah, I think they do too. What do you think about kind of Rondo being out, Avery Bradley being out? Do you think that that's going to hurt them? I know you said that you picked them to win, but do you think that LeBron is going to be that much of the deciding factor? Like, I personally think that in order for the Lakers to win a championship this year, I think that if the Lakers are going to win a championship this year, then Anthony Davis has to be the best player on the floor for the Lakers.
Absolutely.
I don't think that LeBron can be the best player on the floor and the Lakers are going to win a championship. I think AD has to be the best player on the floor for the Lakers in order for them to be able to compete for a championship. So what are you expecting from LeBron in this playoffs then? You know what I mean? Like, how you feel about that? What are you expecting from LeBron in this playoffs? And also, do you think he's the MVP? Because that's part of it. No? Who's the MVP?
I mean, I have Giannis and Anthony Davis. I'm sure y'all have seen his numbers. His numbers are pretty damn good. So I agree with you. I do think Anthony Davis is going to need to be the best player on the floor. And if anytime LeBron is assisting somebody else, I feel like that's a shoe-in to win. Yeah. But the Clippers, that's really the matchup that I want to see more than anything.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
Okay, actually, let's talk about it. We just talked about the Lakers, in their health, and the Clippers in their health. Will the Clippers be healthy enough to win a championship this year? What do you guys think about it?
When I watched the first scrimmage, you know what, man? You might want to start Noah. I think you might actually want to start Joakim Noah. I think Joakim Noah.
Really?
No, man. Like I think Joakim Noah gives them a. Now, granted, obviously he's up there in age, but I think he gives them an aspect to their game that they didn't have. One, I don't think Joakim Noah has ever played with this much shooting before. When you're right. The teams he's played with, and obviously Noah's always been a good passing big, and I've watched Noah play like his whole career. I'm from Chicago, so I watched Noah play. But even that one, now granted, it was a scrimmage, and you always try not to overreact to a scrimmage because it was a scrimmage. But some things translate regardless. Some of the passes he made in that scrimmage, I don't think I ever seen Joakim Noah make before. Mostly because he never had that much space on the court. He would get the short roll and. Zubac on the short roll usually makes the right decision. So shout out Zoo. I love Zoo. I think Zubac on the short roll usually makes the right decision. I think Noah will always make the right decision. Because Noah's been around a lot and Noah's seasoned. So I love what Joakim Noah brings to this basketball team. And I think that that's one of the biggest additions. And I actually think, like I said, Joakim Noah should start. I really do. I think he should start. Now, does that mean Noah has to play 40 minutes? No. But I do think that he should start. I think you should start him and play him 28 minutes. Or if he doesn't start, he should get the lion's share of the minutes in pivotal moments at the center position because of what he can bring to the game with his passing.
So there's a lot of defense in on the Clippers too, though. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see how the matchups work out. So who would you have guard who? If you was going Lakers versus Clippers, what would your matchups be?
I guess you got to put whoever your big is on Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is the real issue. AD, the Clippers, in theory, have nobody to guard AD as long as AD doesn't decide to be fadeaway Davis and shoot fadeaway.
Call that man fadeaway Davis.
Fadeaway Davis. That's the only thing with AD. It's which is why I don't think you can win a ring with AD as your best player unless you play all-time great defense, or you have a LeBron playing to the level of a LeBron James, because I don't think on offense he's really good everywhere, but I don't think he's dominant on offense anywhere because of his play style. You can get away with putting smaller guys on AD, and he's going to shoot fadeaways, and he might make 40 points on them fadeaways, but he's not really putting pressure on you. Those fadeaways aren't fouling guys out. If you got Shaq in the game, you got to foul that man, bro, or he's going to dominate his floor space. I don't think AD really dominates his floor space. So in theory, the advantage that they still have.
I disagree with that. Anthony Davis. Whoa. I disagree with that because Anthony Davis take more free throws per game than LeBron do right now.
Yeah, but
what?
But hold on, wait. But also the thing about people would say with Bron playing point guard is Bron not dominating his floor space right now.
What does that mean?
He's not dominating his floor space. When he's not dominant in that area. For instance, when you talk about Bron playing point guard, right? You would say a Steph Curry dominates his floor space because of his shooting ability from that far out. You would say that he dominates that floor space. That's why you would say he's one of the greatest offensive players ever, because he dominates that floor space from that far out.
I'm not gonna
You could
lie.
make a-
Look at
perimeter floor space or
look at both of our faces. Both of our faces is like
I don't understand it where LeBron's not dominating floor space whenever he has.
Because the argument would be he's not that great of a shooter. So it's like, and when you're playing a guard position, especially to be extremely successful, you do need to be a great shooter. So someone can make the argument that he doesn't dominate he's not dominating his floor space from the point guard position. You could make that argument if you wanted to make that argument. I think he's done a pretty good job this year at point guard. But you can make an argument if you want to that he's not dominating that floor space. I don't think Anthony Davis dominates his floor space. I think he shoots a lot of fadeaways. It works. He's very good at it, but I don't think he dominates his floor space. Defensively, he does, though, which is why I think if you build a team around defense, which kind of like the Lakers have, I think they're a better actually defensive team than they are offense, then it can work. But I'm saying I think the one advantage that they would have over the Clippers, they should have, is Anthony Davis. But Anthony Davis has to take it upon himself to dominate offensively. As far as LeBron, I think LeBron will struggle against the Clippers for a whole series because of the bias that they can't throw at him. You talk about Kawhi, you talk about Paul George, you talk about Morris, you talk about even if you get switched on like the JaMychal Green, they got a lot of guys, and then you get to the rim, you got Noah down there, you got Trez down there. They got a lot of guys to throw at LeBron.
Wow. Okay.
Or I know TBJ is gonna hate this, but even if LeBron playing point guard and you want to have Patrick Beverly just press him full court,
I mean, Patrick Beverly, come on, man. I like Patrick Beverly, but people think he's a god because he's good on 2K. He's really good on defense, but I didn't see him get his ass waxed on numerous occasions.
Of course.
He's going to guard playoff LeBron.
I think he will. No, guard. No, I think he will annoy him. I didn't say he was going to stop him. I said I think he will annoy him. I think he can press him up court, take some energy off of him, like out of him, things like that, by just being annoying. Maybe you make Braun pick up an offensive foul. No, seriously, maybe you make Braun pick up an offensive foul.
I got mad respect for Pat Bev, but it ain't nothing on God's green earth Pat Bev can do to stop LeBron Ramon James when LeBron Ramon James don't want to be stopped.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't say he was gonna stop him. I said annoy him. I didn't say nothing about. I said press him up court.
He ain't annoying nobody.
He can annoy him.
What is annoying LeBron gonna do other than make him mad?
I've seen LeBron play annoyed, and it wasn't great.
Pat Bev is not annoying LeBron. In today's basketball, he's not. What do you mean? Why can't he? Because he's not big enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Pat Bev couldn't even annoy KD last year, which is the reason why KD was.
He did annoy KD. He did annoy KD. KD got tired of it. No, yes, he did. No.
And what happened when he got tired of it?
He went crazy.
50 on him.
He went crazy. But
50 on him. No set.
But I've said many times, KD going crazy wasn't the reason that the Clippers lost. The Clippers lost because they had no offense. That's why they lost. Because Danilo was trash and Lou wasn't playing up to his standards. That's why they lost. KD having 50 is not why they lost at all. They could have survived with KD getting 50. You even said, Doc said, there's a way to win without Danilo and Lou giving us those 20 points, but it's hella hard.
Yeah, exactly. It's not happening. Doc knew it wasn't gonna happen. Doc knew that they caught lightning. He knew that they caught lightning in a bottle. Let's not act like.
Yeah, but if you put Kawhi on that team,
like the Clippers weren't extremely lucky. But I said that last year. If you put him on the team,
agreed. So what I'm like saying about Pat Bev is KD going ballistic ain't the reason they lost that series.
There's
Pat
also
Bev
another guy that guarded LeBron, a whole bunch that that everybody somehow continues to neglect to mention. Paul George, I'm sorry, Chase. How you feel about Paul George?
Yo, Paul George is excellent. He has all the tools.
I think he has a potential to be the spoiler for Finals MVP this year if the Bucks play the Clippers. What do you think? How do you feel about Paul George? What do you think about his game? Do you think that he'll actually be able to step up? I think a lot of people don't think that he's, clutch and money enough in scenarios like this. What do you think?
Well, I don't know how clutch he is, but what did he finish last year in the MVP voting? 4, 5?
Third.
It was third.
Yeah.
I mean, he unfortunately plays in the league with the other two guys that was in there, but I think he is even though he finished third, I don't hear his name enough when people have conversations about like best all-around players in the league, or at least like the guards. He just rarely ever gets mentioned, except by the people who watch the games Because now you have a lot of people, they don't really watch the games. They'll watch like the highlights and they'll read the stats. They're not actually watching the games.
Yeah,
Paul
exactly.
George is a beast on both sides of the ball. So I would really love to see. That's what I'm saying. Like Clippers and Lakers, that would really be like my finals to watch, to see like the kind of the strategies that they put in place. And I would really want to see Paul George and how he performs, versus like LeBron. Because I mean, I already know, what Anthony Davis and the other guys want to do, but I would want to see those two. I would want to see if Paul George can actually step up, what I'm saying, in a series like that to get to the finals.
Yeah. I think PG is a guy that doesn't get a lot of credit on this team, and I think a lot of it this year has been because he's been injured. But I think that when you look at his game and you look at the things that he actually does on the floor, if he is on, he is going to be a force for them. And I think that more than anything is like really, really huge for them, because I think that there will be games like you saw last night in the scrimmage when, Kawhi Leonard shot 3 of 16 and he just wasn't on. But the difference was last year on the Raptors, there was a guy like a Fred VanVleet or Kyle Lowry or Pascal Siakam or Marc Gasol or Serge Ibaka that could come and step up and fill in and kind of, be able to be there and make pivotal plays and score and do those things in those moments. This year, I don't know who those guys are going to be for the Clippers. I think that, I think after the first round of the playoffs, we'll know what kind of team they are. I think I don't know what kind of team they are. Pavi, what kind of team are the Clippers? What team are they? What kind of offense are they? What is their identity? We don't know. And I think we won't know until after the first round of playoffs.
I think that their identity is defense. I think that defense is their identity. I mean, when you look at the guys,
I've watched them get torched a bunch of times.
That's the issue, and that is the issue.
So how is their identity defense when they're getting torched?
I think that like even like Doc has said many times, we're a good man defensive team, but we're working on we're good man to man. Like we have good individual defenders, but we're working on being a good whole defensive team. I think that with the people that they have, I think that their identity is defense. Even bringing in a guy like Noah, what is Noah most known for?
Defense.
I think that their identity as a team is defense. Now, whether they go out there and perform their identity every night, who knows? Because they also have the scorers that some nights they may think we can get away with not playing good defense because we have Paul George, because we have a Lou Williams, because we have a Trez, because we have a Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
But their identity should be every single night, we going to come in and you not going to score.
I think they got too much offensive firepower for that to happen.
But even those people with offensive firepower, you can make an argument that the best thing those guys do is defense for the most part, outside of Lou Williams. Kawhi, what is he most known for? Now, over the years, he's become more offensive. But when you think about Kawhi Leonard historically, what you think about?
I think about defense, but this year I haven't been thinking about his defense because he's been so dynamic on offense.
That's the issue. He need to be that's
but you still got the second best record in the West, and by all intents and purposes, to me, he got a chance this year to take it really easy.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I think again, to win a championship, I think they're gonna have to be the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah, I think we'll see. I think that's very, very interesting in terms of thinking about the Clippers. But I mean, I'm looking at their health, and their health to me isn't the biggest issue. Their biggest issue is what's their identity. If their identity is defense, then okay, cool. Then let's get to the defense. I want to get down to the defense and get to the nitty gritty. But I don't feel like we've done it at all this year with the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers have been largely a finesse team that scores a lot. I think they've largely this year been a pick and roll finesse team that runs a lot of ISOs on the wings. And I think that is the thing that even, Reggie Jackson has said, post game, it's not complicated to understand the kind of offense that, we run here. You just have to know something about basketball. I don't think they're running anything complex. They're a finesse team. That's how they play. That's really how they play. They play with finesse.
I think that in spots, you've seen them put forth the performances defensively that you hope they can consistently put together. You've seen it in spots. I forget what game it was when I asked PG, like, yo, was this the performance that you guys could be defensively? He was like, yeah, this was more like the team that we want to be every night defensively. So I think you've seen them in spots look scary defensively. But it just hasn't been
win. I don't see. Again, I mean, you say scary? Like when?
Yeah.
When did they look
Yeah.
scary?
You've seen it.
Man,
You've seen it.
Look. I ain't seen it. No. Scary on defense?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Now look. Off the top of my head, I can't go back and think of every time that they did, but I know they have because I've asked questions about it. I remember the questions I asked about it. I ain't asking for no reason. So I must have been up there like, yo, they look damn good defensively.
Yeah, but against an elite team, what have you seen them done that's been crazy? Am I tripping? Am I tripping?
Well, who would be your example of scary defense?
You talking about in the NBA right now?
Yes.
The Bucks, top to bottom. The Bucks arguably have 3 all NBA defenders on that team: Brook Lopez, Giannis, and Chris Middleton. And I'm sorry, not Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe. And Chris Middleton is not terrible on defense, but he's not good. He's not terrible. He's not terrible on defense, but I would say Brook Lopez, Giannis, and Eric Bledsoe are both. All 3 contenders for that. To me, like I'm looking at the Bucks and they have a formidable defense. I think the Lakers at times, when Avery Bradley was out there and they were clicking on all cylinders, had a formidable defense. I don't know about the Clippers this year. The Clippers this year have a bunch of good individual team defenders, but they have not put together anything this year that has been any semblance of a team that I could go out there and say on night in, night out could be dominated defensively. I think even when you look at the Lakers game and when you look at the Bucks game that they had earlier, they attacked Lou Will on pick and roll when he's in the game. So defensively,
one game against the Lakers. Huh? The Lakers beat them 2 other times. And I don't think the Lakers scored 100 points the first time either.
Huh?
And I'm not sure if the Lakers scored 100 points the first time.
Yeah, I understand that, but the Clippers have weak spots in their defense because I haven't seen them collectively do it. Like I said, you got a bunch of good individual defenders, but where is the collective defenders? Collectively, who are they defenders? I'm asking you. Like, I mean, other than Kawhi and PG, who's been playing good defense this year? Even PG ain't been.
Pat Bev's been playing good defense. Trez, even though
I think Pat Bev has been getting cooked.
Even though
Pat Bev kind of been getting cooked a lot.
Pat Bev always gets cooked, but it's his job to go out there and get cooked. It's his job to sometimes you're gonna get cooked, sometimes you're gonna annoy him and you're gonna have success. Sometimes you're gonna make him foul out, sometimes you're gonna get cooked for 40. Thing about Pat Bev is he's usually out there guarding the best perimeter player. So you gonna get cooked sometimes. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. If you playing hard and he averages 36. He averages 36. So we cooking everybody. So if you held him to 36, you technically did your job. Because that's his average. Technically, you did your job. Dame averages 30, basically. If you hold him to 30, you technically did your job. Technically. Don't let him get 40.
Yeah, like that.
You did your job.
Like that Charlamagne meme. Nah.
You did your job.
No.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Well, if you're supposed to be a great defender, you're expected to hold people to below their scoring averages.
Exactly. Bill Russell ain't considered a great defender because he held Wilt to 58. He's a great defender because he held Wilt to 30 instead of Wilt getting 50.
Right.
You read off Wilt numbers.
You're playing average.
You read off Wilt. No, hold on. You read off Wilt numbers. Relax. He's considered a great defender because he got those stops when it mattered. He might have scored 50 on them before then, but the last 2 minutes of the game, he might not have scored. That's why he considered a great defender. Not because he was out there locking up Wilt. No, that ain't what happened.
I mean,
Wilt was giving him drugs too. It just at the moments when it really, really mattered down the stretch, he might not have scored. That's what you hope for Pat Bev.
But
Harden might have gave you 34, but you hope in those last 2 minutes you made him travel. You made him pick up an offensive foul. You made him miss.
You the goalpost with that one. I can't lie because you initially said if you hold him to the average, you did your job.
You did your job. I said, I'm saying average. You did your job. He could have scored 36 the first quarter. And not
you're
scored
how you're the one of the primary people, and you held him to what he already does.
Don't let him do more. He's great. Don't let him do more.
Why would I put him on you if you're going to just give him the average? I might as well just put any of this. I might as well save your legs and put this dude on you.
Because you think that, okay, in these moments when I need a stop, I know he's going to score. You can't stop these great offensive players from scoring, especially with the rules that people have now. It is impossible to stop them from scoring a basketball. But you hope that either one, his percentages aren't what they usually are. Like, don't let him give you 34 points on 50% shooting. You got cooked. If it's 35 points on 42% shooting, okay, we can talk. Also, you hope that in those moments when you need stops, they still step up and give you stops. So no, even though Pat Bev ain't been locking people down all year, I'm not gonna say Pat Bev has been less than hasn't been good defensively this year. I'm not gonna say that because he has. I don't think he's been some, he ain't been Gary Payton out there, but he's been good.
It's pretty good, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna give up 36, if you give up 36, I'm afraid that some of that 36 is coming in that fourth quarter when I need you to get a stop. So I'm not even gonna put you on this person.
I hear you, but again, like I'm saying, Pat Bev, even like a guy like Trez. Trez is great with taking charges. That's something that you at least have to be fearful of if you're a guard or if you're anybody coming down the lane. Trez has been great with taking charges all year. So I think that they again have the pieces that when they even having like a guy like Noah, especially in this type of environment when there's no crowd out there, you should hear Noah the whole game. The one thing I know about Noah is he's gonna talk and he's gonna communicate. So
you
again,
really like Noah, huh?
On this team, yes, I hated Joakim Noah in college. Didn't like him with the Bulls, but even with what I saw from him in that scrimmage, I think he again brings a different aspect to this Clippers team that they haven't had.
Who they playing that scrimmage?
The Magic. Lynn, I don't want to overreact, but I'm just looking at some of the things that he did. Like again, getting the ball on the pick and roll and passing out and making the right decision, or just communicating. I'm talking about Noah right now.
I know what you're talking about, and I feel you, but I feel you, but I think that I feel you, but no.
What you mean?
It's go ahead.
What you mean? No,
go ahead. Keep talking.
that's what I had to say. Like I think they got the pieces to be a good defensive team.
I think they